This should be a pretty fun week. We are going to learn about APIs, and not just one API, but how to access as many APIs or whatever API you would like, how to read the documentation, how to leverage it, how to send text messages through Java, how to web scrape through Java. We're going to learn a lot of interesting, cool things this week, and hopefully it will allow you to take that knowledge and branch out into other APIs. Before I dive into the PowerPoint, this speaks truer even than last week. A lot of what we will cover cannot be conveyed in a slide. The majority of this week's learning will be in class or video format, hands-on practice. Please refer to those on Blackboard. As you can see, we do have some slides to go over. First of all, just to kind of get you interested, I want to show you some of the code that we are going to be writing here. So we're going to write one that scrapes from Wikipedia. So here I've got the Wikipedia of toast, and this is the title. It's telling me, and then there's a link to the image. If I come to my web browser, here is toast, as we can see. If I paste this in here, that image picture we can see actually did work. Another interesting one is we will be sending text messages using Java, message sent, and I will try to put on my screen right now the message that was sent to me. We will be using this in class, but I'll explain that when we get to that point. Depending on what semester you're in, the details for sending messages will be on Blackboard. I'll probably have that differing each semester. And lastly, I have this, which is web scraping. So for web scraping, I came up with a nice little example of adopting a cat. So on this website, Animal Friends, we can sort, we can say our preferred sex, and we can pick an age, but we can't say if we want a domestic short hair, a long hair, or what we want. So I've created a system that allows us to do that. So you can see that all of the cats are here on the website. If they change by the time this class is running, or if it's another semester, the code should still work. And it looks something like this. So I could say that I want a short hair senior. And then it will take a second, it's scraping the website, and it tells me here are the cats that are short-haired seniors on there. If we go and take a look, we could probably find one just to prove that that did work. So here is a short hair senior, Fila or Fella. Let's look at the code. And there, it was number 2. Okay, so it works with other things. We could say any and any. And this will take a little bit longer because of course it's going to scrape all of the cats for us. Or if we say something that doesn't exist on the website, we probably won't get any cats. Yep, no cats here. And then we'll adapt this to even send text messages. So a lot to look forward to this week. So with that, let me get started as to what APIs are. An API allows, so we're going to learn about these types of APIs, but what are they? An API is Application Programming Interface. Depending on the semester you had me for 130, if you had me for 130, we may have gone over APIs briefly for a specific topic, but not this broadly. So think of an API as a library. You know we can create a scanner object in Java, right? You've created scanners way too many times. We are provided with a list of methods that the scanner has access to. So when you type scan dot, you get this big list of things like next line, and then it will tell you what it does. That's basically the scanner's API, Application Programming Interface. It's a built-in method and an explanation of how that method works. The external APIs that we're going to be bringing in are basically just classes that people have written. We're going to load them into our environment and just leverage their methods to make things easier for us. We're not going to have to write the entire interface of how to send a text message or scrape the internet. We're just going to have to learn how to use the methods that people have written for us. And there's plenty of documentation on that. These are part of Java's built-in library, but we can bring in our own libraries like I just said, ones that other people have created and allow us to use for free. In short, these are classes that other people have written consisting of methods that you'll find useful, so you don't have to write the entire code base yourself. You can simply use the predefined methods or expand them. There is often documentation on how to use an API. I'll provide the ones that I have found. The APIs we're going to cover are JSoup, which allows you to use web scraping, Twilio, which will allow us to send text messages. I'll have a disclaimer on this one when we get to the video. JWiki, which will gather content from Wikipedia and anything else you can find. Once you've learned these three, or just played around with these three, I'm giving you the tools to explore exactly what you want to find, anything. So we will cover how to install the APIs because we do have to bring in these external libraries, which the way we're going to do it is through jar files. They will be provided for you online. So look out for the documentation of those, and I will have a video of myself setting up each jar file. So I'll show you that process, and that should be the same on Windows and or Mac. So we will walk you through the installing an API process. You can also see it in the slides. I'm going to jump through these right now. There will be a separate video on these. This will probably be the next video you see. So if you want to follow the tutorial based this way, you can. As you can see here, I do have the API documentation for each API. And here's some other APIs we're going to work with. So we'll do web scraping. We'll do an example of the school's website. We'll be sending text messages, as you can see here. And of course, we will have this one from the cats. And we can even adapt that to where it will send us the links to each cat. So it's going to be a pretty interesting week. I hope you look forward to it.